MWC 2013. I came 2 years ago. This one is more streamlined. There's not as many huge launches.
I remember coming out of CES just a month ago and I was swearing up and down that all the big product launches would happen here. And they didn't really. I mean, there were a couple notables, but for the most part, it was mostly mid-range and budget devices. And at this point, I don't even want to tell you that there's going to be another big trade show where all these splashy product launches happen.
Hey guys, I'm Michael.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And we are here in Barcelona at the Gran Fira for Mobile World Congress 2013. We figured we would show you guys a little bit about how the show works.
So first up, we start here in the entrance hall. As you can see, people are leaving, so something's up. But we're going to go right in through the gates. We've got these fancy NFC badges on a lovely detachable tether. Now you can actually with a bit of photographic ID, you scan in with these. So we'll push these up against the contact, and hopefully they'll let us in.
So this is Hall 1. I know we're here for the gadgets and kind of the consumer electronics angle, but this is actually for the whole mobile industry as a whole. So what you see here is just kind of the more executive meeting rooms for backhaul, all the infrastructure that goes into mobile, that's also here at Mobile World Congress as well.
He's going to speed it up with Benny Hill music, right?
I hope so. So the last time I was here, the Galaxy S2 was launched here. That was a huge deal. But now, Samsung was here, but they just gave away media packets to come to their Galaxy S4 launch in New York next month.
Event. Now, apparently, this is how people get into the new Galaxy S4 event. So Samsung, in a way, have kind of stole their own thunder a little. And it's quite interesting that this might be probably one of the most exciting announcements of the show, at least to me.
So they're here, but it's a different approach. All they really brought to the show was the Note 8.0, which is this absurdly large smartphone.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm right here. Good.
So yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have a gadget at the show, but perhaps this is endemic of other issue of this MWC, where plenty of companies have actually either announced ahead of the game, like HTC with the One, or Samsung announcing their own event, again under their own steam, in the shape of the Galaxy S4.
So, exciting day, we're at Mobile World Congress. You just announced 4 new products.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes, first of all, 2 new products in the Lumia product family, the Lumia 720 and the Lumia 520. And in the lower price devices, in the feature phones, we introduced the Nokia 105 and the Nokia 301. The common theme here for us at Mobile World Congress is we're taking some of the finest points of innovation from our high-end flagship products like the Lumia 920 and bringing that down, doing the hard engineering work to make that accessible to more people. So showing off, for example, some of the capabilities of the 920 on the 520 at a much lower price point is really exciting. So it's been a good
All
day.
the way down to a 15 euro.
That's right.
The 105 there.
A 15 euro phone. This is actually the
May
there
I?
you go. Yeah, the Nokia 105 replaces the 1280. The 1280 we sold more than 100 million units of, and we have high hopes for this as well.
This is impressive. In 1 month battery life.
That's right. Turn it on, and it will be there for you a month later.
This is great. I'm just gonna like stash a bunch of them around my house.
Well, you put
randomly.
them in the glove box of your car, and away you go.
I mean, the 620 is such a brilliant piece of design and engineering.
Yes.
It's like all that years and decades combined of Nokia experience just purely focused into one device. I was amazed.
And now we've gone one
And
step
now you
further
got one
with
step
the
further.
Lumia 520,
Right.
which before taxes and subsidies is expected to be 139 euros in the marketplace, which is an amazing price point for this level of experience. There you go. We will continue to introduce high-end flagship products that capture value and that set the tone for the whole family. Value at the top, volume at the lower price points, with common themes of design and innovation throughout.
Well, thanks for clarifying.
Thank you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate your time. Thanks, Mr. Stephen Elop, CEO of Nokia. Cheers.
This time we're in Hall 2. As you can see, there's a big Sony booth down there. That's again more for meetings than it is for checking out the new Xperia phones and tablets. I mean, if we spin around there, you can see a lot of carrier names, a lot of chip makers, and a few retailers. A quick spin around there. Oh, a bit of Samsung. and we're back here.
So this just kind of gives you a little bit of a flavor of what it's all about. You've got carriers from around the world, companies from around the world, and while we're mostly focused on US stuff, this certainly is a worldwide show. So let's head on to Hall 3. So here we are in Hall 3. This is really kind of the main attraction for us and our Engadget readers. You can see there's, we've got Huawei, Samsung, IBM, LG, eBay's down there, Nokia's on this hall. We've also got Qualcomm and Intel down the other way. So this is really where you can get the hands-on touch and feel and get a look at all the new products that were announced for the show. So let's head on to Hall 4. Okay guys, so we've made about halfway through the halls here at the FIRA, and we've got some work to do. As you can see behind us, we've actually got the media room, which is pretty much where we spend most of our time when we're not out on the show floor.
And the great thing about here is we get water, lots of coffee, and there are restrooms, which is always a welcome relief.
Very important. So anyway, we're gonna go check it out, and we'll see you guys later.
Hola, me llamo Esteres. Okay, I'm in Barcelona. I can't really speak Spanish, but this has got to be my favorite gadget of MWC, and it may never actually see the light of day, which is kind of sad. It's a prototype cane with GPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and a cellular radio built in from Fujitsu. The whole idea is that you can track your loved ones, your grandma, your grandpa, and even send them directions. They can actually follow directions. Here on the top shows them arrows pointing them where to go. It alerts them to when there's a turn. And it can actually even monitor vital signals like heart rate through this little sensor up the top. There's no big fancy screen, no HD camera. This is just sort of a really interesting use of mobile technology, and that's why I like it. It's different, and it's practical.
Hey, this is Darren. I'm looking at HP Slate 7. This was announced here at the show. It's $169, well for the Europeans, 149 euros. 7-inch Android tablet. It's going to ship with Android 4.1.1 Jelly Bean. This one's a Wi-Fi only model, but a 4G version is planned for the future. The build quality of this thing is really exceptional. For only 169 bucks, you're going to have a hard time finding something built as nice as this. Definitely going to be treading on the Nexus 7's turf. This has a gig of RAM, it's a micro SD slot, Bluetooth 3.0, and all the standard Android apps as well as a bunch of HP apps, including a nifty feature that allows you to print right from the browser without any wonky formatting issues. So yeah, this is definitely one of the standout devices from here at MWC.
Stephen Sneeden, hi.
Hi, Miriam.
How's it going again?
It's fantastic again. Are you following me?
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm a big fan, as you know.
Yes.
You have a major announcement this week at Mobile Congress. You've announced the Tablet Z.
Yes.
And you have one here. So would you maybe tell us a little bit, because this is quite a groundbreaking design.
So one thing that starts out with is like the experience flow there that you see on the home screen there. You'll see that across more devices.
Right.
Like the cascading screen unlock, little touches like that. Maybe the placement of the power button. Maybe this is an iconic statement on other products as we go down the road.
Right. And so it's a holistic view. You're doing hardware and the software, and you're trying to do the ecosystem. You announced that you're going to be consolidating the music and the music market app.
Yes.
Right? Your Walkman player and
right. Come the summertime, the Music Unlimited service and the Walkman player are going to be fully integrated, and that's something I've been personally waiting for a long time, to have all of these great music features together in one experience instead of going here for some music and here for some other
So
music.
obviously this is a design language. We're going to see it evolve. When did this get incubated internally? I mean, obviously in the past, we've gone through a series of Xperia phones that are getting more and more refined. And in fact, I think the ZL you showed us kind of reminds us a little bit of the older design languages, from the rounded features.
Yeah, while still having some commonalities.
Correct,
here.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when was this when was this design language spearheaded? When did it become like the objective and the goal that culminated in these two devices?
Well, I think I'd have to say it is when Mr. Kuni Suzuki took over of the whole mobility business with the tablet and the smartphone, and converging that into one group. and also overseeing, as he does, the user experience that convergence across all devices for Sony.
Right, absolutely. Well, that's really great. Thanks so much again for spending the time with us, Stephen,
Thank you,
and
Miriam.
coming to Mobile Congress with some great product. Cheers.
Hey guys, Joseph here in the middle of ZTE's booth taking a look at the Grand Memo, which is a Note competitor with a 5.7-inch screen, no stylus, that ZTE has sort of formally announced here at the show. This will also be the first phone to launch with a Snapdragon 800 processor. What? It's not? Hey guys, Joseph here in the middle of ZTE booth at Mobile World Congress 2013, taking a look at the Grand Memo, which is a 5.7-inch Note competitor from the Chinese OEM. Now this is one of the first smartphones to incorporate the Snapdragon 600 processor, and that's not right either. This has a Qualcomm processor inside and a 1080p display. We'll get it this time, don't worry, we'll get it. With a 720p screen, and that's not that either. What is it? Hey guys, Joseph here in the middle of ZTE's booth. I'm looking at the Grand Memo, which is the phone I just love to hate because nobody knows what's inside. It has a screen, there are colors. At the bottom there are buttons. It runs Android, and if you look on the back, it has the back. Inside I'm pretty sure there's a battery, and this model seems to turn on, but the other ones don't. They could be S4 Pros, they could be Snapdragon 800s, no one's really sure right now. What we do know is that eventually you'll be able to make voice calls.
The one thing I've noticed is NFC, and we've had to use NFC as journalists to get into the building and to get into lunch and all the rest of it. But aside from that, there hasn't been a use for it. But if you look at the number of NFC posters around, just the sheer amount of money that was spent on printing of NFC-related publicity, and then free phones for journalists, a free Sony Xperia T for them to use while they're here, which has NFC on board. How much does that cost? And it's all part of some concerted effort, apparently aimed at us, not even the public, to make us think NFC is cool.
Let's go. So right next to the media center, this is where all the real deals are made. There's a little bit of mini golf going on, and some of these guys are taking it pretty seriously. Others, less so. We haven't had time to have an executive game just yet.
No.
But apparently whoever loses will pay for dinner tonight.
I'm looking forward to that. So here we are in Hall 5, which is kind of a mishmash. All the big booths are kind of in the earlier halls. This is some players that you've heard of, Gemalto, Orange. We're standing right next to the Fujitsu booth, but there's a lot of more minor players that do, software, mobile payments, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, this is like one of the halls where it's a little bit easier to get lost as well because they're all different shapes, different sized stalls. But we're moving on. Yep. Next up, Hall 6.
Yep.
This time we're at Hall 6 and another few big players here. Obviously we've got a beautifully white Sony stand here on our left. If we take a closer look down right to the end, you can see some Japanese carriers like Docomo and all their rivals. There's also a fair few, yes, more chip makers here, and yeah, plenty to see actually in this hall. It's just, you have to kind of dig around to get to it.
Yep. Okay, so here we are in Hall 7. A few more names you might recognize. We're right in the midst of the HTC booth right now. There's also HP, we've got SanDisk, a few others. So here we are in Hall 8.1. This is another one with a lot of very small players, a lot of apps, software are in this hall, and as you can see, the main attraction is Mozilla with Firefox OS. That's pretty much the main deal here. A lot of little guys, really.
I have nothing to say.
All right, I guess that's it. Let's head to Hall 8. So here we are in Hall 8, otherwise known as the Theater District. As you can see, we're kind of surrounded by different theater areas. This is where there are a lot of, I guess, app developer conferences, some panel discussions and those kinds of things. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time in here, but certainly this is a very important part of the show for other industry people.
It seems really nice and mellow, kind of chill out here.
This is definitely not a US first show. So even though it's the world's biggest mobile show, America and North America takes kind of a back seat to what Europe and Asia is looking for.
I don't know when we're next going to see a big trade show that has lots and lots of products, but I think more and more companies are going to be having their own press announcements if they're counting on it to be a flagship device.
2007 was the last year I went to CeBIT, which is a show in Hanover, in Germany. Last year this was a crazy pile of announcements. And this year it's fading like CeBIT did. So this show's going from amazing to something that's, I think, next year is going to become an industry show.
You know, if you're going to launch an operating system and you have to win over developers, this isn't the place to win over developers. What it is a place to win over carriers and to win over hardware partners.
We're always going to be here because this is what we love. And whether they're announcing something new or they did a month ago and we haven't touched it, then we'll show up and we're going to cover it.